Yeah.
Hi, my name is Colleen Cole and we're Group 10. We have started a small business and the product we are selling is a 4-shelf oak bookcase with 2 sides and an open back. We have a natural look and we've priced our product for $30 per bookcase. We are based out of Oroville, California, and we have a local distribution to regional businesses. These businesses include Nantucket Furniture, which is based out of Chico, IKEA, which is based out of Sacramento, and Home Depot. Our target market also includes middle to upper class families. Now I'm going to hand it over to Ray, who will be talking to you about labor and product cost.
All right. My name is Ray Kahn, and I'm going to run you through a breakdown of our product costs and labor costs. Our oak wood bookshelf consists of 5 panels of 1 by 10 by 1, and then also of 3 panels that are 1 by 10 by 1 as well, which will be the shelves. Our cost for the products runs through, we got nails, we got glue, clear finish, sandpaper, and then we have direct labor hours. Each cost we broke down per board, per nail, per shelf, and estimated how much of each will cost us to develop make one bookshelf. Our direct labor hour includes our cost is 3 hours to build a shelf. That includes assembling and finishing the product. Our cost per labor hour is $12.78, which includes which brings our total, cost per bookshelf down to $147.68. So this is what it's going to cost us to create one bookshelf. Down here we did a labor cost calculation, which is our 1 labor hour is we're paying our laborers on the floor $10 per hour, and our cost per labor hour includes workers' comp, unemployment insurance, state disability, Social Security, and Medicare, which is a percentage of how much you earn. The total percentage is 27.75 per hour. So at $10 per hour, our cost would be $10, and then you times that by 27.75, so you have an additional cost of $2.78 rounded up for each labor hour. So our total cost per labor hour is $12.78. Next, what we have is our fixed cost and equipment cost. What we came up with was we found a building, we located a warehouse located in Oroville, California. The rent of the warehouse is $5,040 per month. The size of the warehouse is about 12,600 square feet. So over the time period of 12 months, our total cost would be $60,480, and that's a fixed cost. Next, we came up with the insurance. We called a couple different places, and we got an insurance quote of about $250 per month. And the reason behind that is because we have very basic equipment. We're not using any industrial equipment at this point. And most of our cost is just insuring our shop and our tools that are inside the shop. It's the $250 per month, so times that by 12 months, our cost comes out to $3,000 per month. Next is our utilities. We looked up and we did some comparison on the average cost of utilities for a building of the equivalent size and in a similar industry. What we came up with was about $4,200 per month, which again for an annual cost of $50,400. So our total factory cost is $113,880 for the year. Next, we had some startup costs of equipment that we would be purchasing for the first time. So we purchased a router, a nail gun, a power sander, a table saw. We looked at some models and we got the cost for them per router or per piece of equipment and how much of each we would purchase. And then these would all be fixed costs and they'd be one-time costs. So our total equipment cost came out to $5,190. And now I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Ryan, who's going to start out and go over the break-even points.
All right. Well, my name is Ryan, and I'm going to go through the break-even points for our year 1. Now, first, we took our amounts for our equipment and for our labor, our equipment and our factory costs, and that brought us to $119,070.87. Then we, being that we're getting the break even, we add that to 0, which would be our operating income, and we divided that by our contribution margin, which is $150.32. which gave us a break-even amount of 781.72 units, and you round that up to 782 units, not dollars. And our contribution margin is our sales of $300 for what we're selling it for, and we take away our variable cost, which is the $147.68 that we took from the original slide of our material cost per unit. And that gives us our $152.32 that we took away in the first part. And that'll give us 781.72 units times $300, and that'll give us a dollar amount of $234,516 to break even. Now, after year one, being that we no longer have the equipment costs, it is just the factory costs. Therefore, we will be using our nice formula up here again, our fixed expenses plus our operating income divided by the contribution margin per unit to give us the break-even sales in units like we used for the previous problem. And so we'll take our factory costs, factory expenses, which is $113,880, and divide that by our contribution margin per unit, which is $152.32. And that will leave us with a unit amount of 747.64, and that gets rounded up to 748 units. And then we'll times that by $300. Sorry, they're a little switched around, and that'll give us to a break-even in dollar amount of $224,292. Next, we'll move on to the margin of safety, and again, our projected goal is to sell 1,500 units for the first year, and the number we calculated in the first problem was the 782. That was to break even. Therefore, we're going to get 718, which would be the units we're making profit off of. Therefore, we will divide it by what we won't plan on selling it, the units we plan on selling, which is the 1,500 for the year, and that'll give us a margin of safety of 47.89% for year one. And for year two, we planned on selling 1,550 units, an extra 50 units compared to year one, and being that our equipment cost, our cost to break even is less, we now have a break even of 748, which would give us an overall 802 units. And we take that and divide it by the 1,550, and that will give us 51.74%. And for year three, we also increased our units again to 1,600, and we less our 748 units, and that'll give us 852. We divide the 852 by 1,600 to give us 53.25%. Now, as for year four, again, we increase our units 50 by 50, and we take away our 748 to give us 902. And then again, we divide it by our expected, which is 1,650, and it'll give us 54.67%. Now, for year five, again, we increase it by 50, take away our 748, it will give us 952. We, again, less our expected, 1,700, and it'll give us 56%. Now, our target profits, we took our units and we subtracted the units that we are going to be using to break even, and we multiplied that by our contribution margin, and we divided that number by 3 to give it for each of our partners what they would make. Therefore, for year one, we got 109,365.76 divided by 3, and we got 36,455.25 cents. We did that for all the rest of the years, and we came out for year 2, 40,720.21 cents. For year 3, we got 43,258.88. For year 4, we did the same thing as we did in year 1, and we got 45,797.55 cents. And for year 5, we got 48,336.21 cents. Now I'm going to pass it back to Colleen to show us what the reality is for our venture and for our business.
So in reality, based on the calculations, our venture definitely has potential. We will definitely break even and we will make a profit. And as we have shown you, the margin of safety is 51% and the target profit is achievable. Thank you. We're Group 10.